Welcome to The Essence of Stoicism. Have you ever felt stuck in the same routine? Longing for something different but not knowing where to start? You're not alone. I've been there too. Caught in the whirlwind of daily life. Feeling like there had to be more. Today, I want to share 5 habits that transformed my life in just 1 week. Yes. You heard that right, 1 week. It may sound unbelievable. But I assure you, these habits are grounded in reality and have made a lasting impact on my life. Imagine waking up every day feeling energized and ready to tackle the world. Picture yourself moving through your day with intention and clarity. These habits not only helped me regain control over my life but also introduced me to a new way of living that I believe can do the same for you. Whether you're seeking to boost productivity, improve your mental health, or simply make positive changes, I invite you to join me on this journey. Throughout this video, I'll not only outline these habits but also share personal stories and insights that highlight their transformative power. By the end, you'll have actionable steps you can start implementing today. And I promise you'll want to stick around until the very end. Waking up early. Waking up early was the first habit that completely changed my life. Let me be honest, I was not a morning person. My bed felt like a cozy sanctuary. And I had mastered the art of hitting the snooze button. Mornings were chaotic, filled with rushing and stress. However, after much contemplation, I decided to give waking up early a shot. Starting with a 5 a.m. alarm. The first few mornings were a struggle. Groggy and reluctant. I questioned whether this was worth it. But as I persisted, a remarkable shift occurred by the 3rd day. The early morning hours, when the world is still asleep, became a sacred time for me. I found a unique stillness that allowed me to reflect and set intentions for the day ahead. With these extra hours, I carved out time for light exercise, nothing too intense. Just some stretching or a brisk jog around my neighborhood. The physical activity awakened my body and energized my mind. Additionally, I dedicated a few moments to meditation, cultivating mindfulness that made a significant difference in my overall outlook. One of my most memorable moments was watching the sunrise from my balcony. As the sky transformed into vibrant hues, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude and peace. It was in this moment that I grasped the true power of waking up early, not just for productivity but for personal reflection and connection with the world around me. If you're contemplating this habit, I encourage you to start small. Try waking up just 15 minutes earlier than usual and gradually increase it. You might be surprised by the positive impact it can have on your life. It's not merely about having more hours in the day, it's about using those hours to cultivate a mindful, intentional start. Daily exercise. The second habit that transformed my life was committing to daily exercise. Admittedly, I was not always an active person. I would often find excuses: I'm too tired, I don't have time, or I'll start tomorrow. However, one day, I reached a breaking point and decided enough was enough. I committed to moving my body for at least 20 minutes each day. In the beginning, it was tough. My muscles ached, and I felt exhausted. But I reminded myself of my goal, to feel better physically and mentally. By the 4th day, something miraculous happened. I woke up feeling energized and noticed a marked improvement in my mood. The endorphins from exercise had a profound effect, transforming my outlook on life. One morning, I laced up my sneakers and went for a jog. The crisp air invigorated me. And as I ran, I felt a sense of freedom I hadn't experienced in a long time. The act of moving my body became a form of self-care rather than a chore. I also tried yoga for the first time. something I had hesitated to do because of my perceived lack of flexibility. But after a few sessions, I fell in love with it. Yoga taught me to breathe deeply and connect with my body, further enriching my exercise journey. Exercise became my time to disconnect from the noise of the world and reconnect with myself. It wasn't just about burning calories, it was about taking care of my body and, in turn, my mental health. I encourage anyone who struggles with exercise to start small. Find an activity you enjoy. Whether it's dancing, hiking, or simply taking a walk. The key is consistency and making it a regular part of your life. Journaling. The third habit that significantly impacted my life was journaling. Initially, I viewed journaling as something reserved for the overly introspective or those with too much free time. However, after committing to journaling consistently for a week, my perspective shifted dramatically. I discovered that journaling became a cornerstone of my personal growth journey. I began with a simple notebook and a pen, dedicating just 10 minutes each night to reflect on my day. The first night, I stared at the blank page, unsure of what to write. But then, I began with the basics: how my day went, what made me happy, and what I struggled with. As the days progressed, I delved deeper into my thoughts, my goals, fears, dreams, and insecurities. Through journaling, I noticed patterns in my behavior and thoughts. I realized that many of my worries were beyond my control, while others were areas I could take actionable steps in. For instance, one night, I wrote about a particularly stressful day at work. By putting my feelings on paper, I processed my emotions more effectively and gained clarity on what I could do differently next time. Tracking my progress through journaling was incredibly empowering. I documented small victories, no matter how minor, which filled me with a sense of accomplishment. One particularly memorable entry was about a presentation I had been nervous about. Writing about my preparation and the positive outcome motivated me to continue pushing forward. Another crucial aspect was starting a gratitude section in my journal. Each day, I noted down 3 things I was grateful for, which shifted my focus from what I lacked to appreciating what I had. This simple practice brought more positivity into my life. If you've never tried journaling, I urge you to start. Don't worry about writing perfectly, just let your thoughts flow. It could be a stream of consciousness, a recap of your day, or reflections on specific events. The act of writing itself is what brings clarity and peace. Mindful eating. The fourth habit that had a profound impact on my life was mindful eating. Like many, I often rushed through meals, distracted by my phone or work. I didn't realize how much this affected my overall well-being until I committed to practicing mindful eating for a week. Mindful eating involves paying full attention to the experience of eating, savoring each bite, noticing flavors, and being aware of your hunger and fullness cues. On my first day, I approached dinner with a newfound sense of curiosity. I set aside my phone and sat down at the table, focusing solely on my meal. As I chewed slowly, I noticed the textures and flavors in a way I had never experienced before. Each bite was a discovery, and I found myself appreciating the meal far more than when I would mindlessly eat while scrolling through social media. It was a revelation. I also began to recognize emotional connections to food. There were moments when I craved certain foods due to stress or boredom rather than hunger. Understanding this connection allowed me to make healthier choices and avoid emotional eating. By being present during meals, I felt more satisfied and in tune with my body's needs. Another significant shift was exploring new recipes and ingredients. As I approached cooking with mindfulness, instead of viewing it as a chore, I saw it as an opportunity for creativity and exploration. I started experimenting with plant-based meals and discovered a new love for cooking. If you struggle with your relationship with food, I encourage you to try mindful eating. Set aside distractions. Focus on your meal. And pay attention to your body's cues. This habit can bring more enjoyment and satisfaction to your meals and ultimately lead to healthier eating choices. Limiting screen time. The fifth and final habit that changed my life was limiting screen time. In our technology-driven world, I often found myself mindlessly scrolling through social media or binge-watching shows late into the night. This habit negatively impacted my mental health, productivity, and sleep quality. After realizing this, I decided to set boundaries. I established specific times for non-work-related screen time and committed to disconnecting during certain hours. For instance, I implemented a "no screens after 8 p.m. rule, allowing me to unwind without the blue light from screens disrupting my sleep. One evening, I discovered an old book on my shelf that had been collecting dust. I picked it up. And as I read, I felt a sense of nostalgia and contentment. I had forgotten how fulfilling it was to lose myself in a good book. This simple act became a nightly ritual, replacing mindless scrolling with engaging literature. Another delightful outcome of reducing screen time was rediscovering old hobbies. I began drawing again, something I hadn't done in years. The creative process felt rejuvenating, allowing me to express myself and unwind without relying on technology. Setting limits on screen time led to better sleep patterns as well. Without the blue light interference, I found it easier to fall asleep and wake up feeling refreshed. The quality of my sleep improved, which contributed to my overall well-being. If you feel overwhelmed by technology, I encourage you to take a step back and evaluate your screen time. Set boundaries. Explore other activities. And reconnect with hobbies that bring you joy. You might be surprised at how freeing it can be. As we wrap up, I hope these 5 transformative habits inspire you to make positive changes in your own life. Remember, progress over perfection is key. These habits may not work for everyone, but by experimenting and finding what resonates with you, you can embark on your journey of personal growth. I invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Have you tried any of these habits? What changes have you noticed? Let's build a supportive community where we can learn and grow together. Thank you for joining me today on The Essence of Stoicism. I'm excited to hear about your journeys and look forward to sharing more insights with you in the future. Until next time, embrace the journey of self-discovery and growth.